Hi guys, this is Oliver, and the Boys spin-off Gen V has finally wrapped its first season. So this is my review of the show. I love The Boys. It's the best show out there. Not only the best superhero show of all time, but just my favorite show of all time in general. I even met Kimiko from the show, and that was such an amazing experience. It was perfect. So don't forget to check that video out on my YouTube channel of when I went to Comic-Con and met her. Going into this show, when I heard that they were going to expand the world of The Boys and make The Boys spin-off, I was over the moon excited. And then later on in the video, we will move on with the spoiler-free review for Gen V for people who haven't seen it yet. So skip to this time of the video to avoid spoilers somewhere, I don't really know, but somewhere it's supposed to be. For people who have seen Gen V, then I hope you enjoyed the whole video. So yeah, anyways guys, without further ado, let's do this. Let's start with what I liked about Gen V. First of which, I really liked our main protagonist of the show, Marie. She was a great character, and I loved the opening scene of the first episode where you not only get an awesome cameo from A-Train, but most importantly, when she kills her parents accidentally, and the way the show handled her trauma and how that traumatized her was very compelling, and some great character development. Marie having blood powers was really cool and very different and unique. And the scenes where she utilizes her powers were amazing. I also really liked some of the other characters like Andre, Emma, and Jordan. And I loved Sam. He was easily the best character in the show until literally me and literally Ale shows up. But before that, he was the best character in the whole show. Of all the new characters that we get introduced to, he's easily the best one out of all of them, in my opinion. Because he was very interesting and his acting throughout the show was just perfect. Easily the best acting in the whole show until literally me and literally Ale shows up. I loved the scene when he saw everyone as Muppets, and you saw it through his perspective, and he brutally murdered everyone as Muppets. Was amazing, and it's one of the best scenes in the whole show. It was an epic and awesome action scene and very brutal. I also really liked Golden Boy, played by Patrick Schwarzenegger. He was really cool and really likable, and when he died at the end of the first episode, that was so sad. It really was. But I loved how even though he died in the first episode, he was still in the rest of the show. Like for example, you saw some flashbacks throughout the show to before he died, and in the finale when Sam had him in his head was genius. Whoever came up with that, A+. I was shocked that they killed him off in the first episode. He reminds me a lot of Chrissy in Stranger Things and Sarah in The Last of Us, that he dies in the first episode, but before he died, you get some amazing character development from him, and you get to know him very well and like him, so that when he dies, you feel sad for both him and the rest of the characters. I also think the whole thing surrounding the woods in the show was very interesting, and the scene when Emma sneaks down into the woods was very intense. And when she killed one of the guards was freaking awesome and very brutal. And I loved the Easter egg of the Soldier Boy movie in the Boys universe, Payback, being in the background. It was such an amazing Easter egg, perfectly teasing him showing up later on in the show in episode 6. I loved the Easter eggs in this show because it helps the connectivity in the Boys universe. My favorite Easter egg was easily the A-Train energy drink and the Black Noir warning signs. They were really funny. What was your favorite Easter egg in the show? Let me know in the comments down below. And this shot in particular of Emma looking up reminds me a little too much of this very similar shot in the Flash movie. It's basically exactly the same as that shot, but an R-rated version of that shot. And the CGI is way better here. When it comes to the episodes of Gen V, I think that episodes 6, 7, and 8 are easily the best episodes in the whole show. I loved episode 6 because we got some amazing character development on Kate and some amazing acting from our characters. And with the cherry on top, we got an amazing cameo from Soldier Boy. Jensen Ackles is once again amazing as Soldier Boy. He was really funny and really cool, and the charisma and charm that he brings to the character is amazing. I loved how he was Kate's imaginary friend. That was very interesting and very funny, and it's not what I was expecting. When they first announced that Soldier Boy was going to be in the show, I wasn't expecting it to be this. I love how not only is the Soldier Boy cameo in this episode amazing, but I also think the rest of the episode is also amazing. And getting to know more about Kate was very interesting and heartbreaking, and the other flashbacks with the Golden Boy and the other characters were amazing, and Jordan's acting in this scene was amazing. Episodes 7 and 8 were also amazing. It was great seeing the mayor from the Boys show appearing in episode 7, and the scene where Marie and her talk about their powers and the fact that they both have blood powers was very interesting and intriguing. And the scene at the end of the episode where she blows up that guy's head was awesome and brutal, and it was a great jump scare actually. And hence we'll roll that song from Fresh, which check out my movie review for that. That song playing in the end credits of the episode was a perfect fit. Episode 8 was somehow even more amazing than episode 7. It was the peak, not only a perfect finale to the season, but it also set up the Boys season 4 in the most perfect and epic way possible. The fact that Sam actually joined Kate was a genius. The scene where Marie fights the Invisible Man, Maverick, was awesome and intense. It reminded me a lot of when Butcher fought Translucent in The Boys, except that scene is way better, obviously. And the way Marie defeats the Invisible Man was very creative, and also the fight between Andre and Sam was also amazing. It was an epic and awesome action scene, it really was. The action scenes in this episode in general were amazing, and I loved the scene where Marie takes out blood from dead bodies and forms them into spears and kills that one guy. That was epic and awesome, it really was. Such a perfect scene, it really was.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything.
Speaking of Homelander, the Homelander cameo in this episode was amazing. It was so good, so damn good, it really was. And this episode also had a post-credit scene where Butcher shows up, and that was amazing. Such an amazing cameo, it really was. I loved the cameos in this show because it helps the connectivity of the Boys universe. From the A-Train cameo to the Deep cameo, Soldier Boy, and now in this episode, Butcher and Homelander. And all of these cameo scenes were just the highlights of the show. Homelander's acting is once again amazing. This scene is one of the best scenes in the whole show, and a perfect twist. I actually thought that Homelander was going to team up with Marie, but then surprisingly enough, he actually shot his lasers at her. That was insane. And the fact that Marie actually survived his laser beams was just insane and very OP actually. Let's move on with what I did not like about Gen V. First of which, what happened to Tech Knight? Tech Knight, he was such a cool character, and they introduced Tech Knight in episode 4 of Gen V, and he was such an amazing character, such a cool character and very OP, but then he just disappeared, never to be seen again. Like, what? They mentioned his name in episode 5, but besides that, he was never to be seen again. It's like the show forgot he was a character. He just disappeared for no particular reason. In episode 4, it felt like they were going to set him up for something big in the future, but then he just disappeared. I don't think we're ever going to see him again, sadly. My second complaint with Gen V was that all the title cards are not really the best. I loved all the title cards in The Boys. They were amazing and very creative and very cool. They were so good. And Gen V also tried to do these title cards also, but failed actually. The title cards in this show, they were not really that memorable. It doesn't really feel the same. It feels like the title cards were just shoved in there last minute. Well, the Boys title cards were very planned out and looked beautiful visually. But here, they were basically just stretched out on the entire screen. I know it's just a nitpick of, it's just title cards, but I think they could have done it way better. I think instead of copying and doing pretty similar title cards to The Boys, the exact same logo actually, they should have done their own thing, maybe a cool superhero intro, like for example the intro for Daredevil or the intro for Loki, which both of them are amazing. Stay tuned for my series review of Loki Season 2, coming out very soon on my YouTube channel. But before that video comes out, until then don't forget to check out my series review of Loki Season 1 on my YouTube channel if you haven't already. But besides that, I really liked Gen V. It was a great show. It doesn't come close to The Boys. It's not a perfect show like The Boys is, but it's still a great show, worth watching for episodes 6, 7, and 8. And worth watching for the amazing cameos, which I'm not gonna spoil this time, but I just said it in my spoiler review, and they perfectly set up The Boys Season 4 in the best way possible, as well as a great cliffhanger for Gen V Season 2. It's still great to see a spin-off in The Boys universe while we wait for Season 4 of The Boys. And by the time I'm filming this right now, they actually just confirmed another The Boys spin-off, The Boys Mexico, and yeah, they probably should have given it a better title. Starring Diego Luna, aka Andor. He's going to be in the show. He's a great actor, so I'm excited to see him. Anyways, guys, that's it for my series review of Gen V. And comment down below what are your thoughts on Gen V, and which are you most excited for, The Boys Season 4 or the Gen V Season 2. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!